Speaking of Apple, they patented a new style of foldable device. This patent recently came through the patent office as a patent would. And the reason for this patent, apparently, now I get it. Some people say the folding thing, it's not the future. Look, just because there's a patent doesn't mean Apple necessarily believes it's the future. It just means, well, Apple throws patents out there because they got guys working there that have an imagination and they're out there doing things and thinking about these next generation devices. And what's the cost of applying for the patent? I don't know. It's to Apple? To Apple, the cost is the apple pie that you had earlier. It's probably less, actually. It's probably half that pie.
Yeah. They have funds.
Will had a pie from McDonald's, an apple pie, hot apple pie earlier.
Yes, it was hot. That detail was very
important. And you decided to sort of like eat it in a sneaky fashion.
Yeah. I mean,
because otherwise Vin might have seen that.
Yeah, he might have ate it.
He's a connoisseur of the entire McDonald's menu. So let's just get that out of the way. Well, how was it, by the way?
It was great.
Yeah, it's great, wasn't it? Yeah. It's a simple thing. When I was a kid, man, those apple pies, there's a nostalgic factor with those. Anyway, the cost of this patent, less than an apple pie to Willie Doo to Apple, the big company, the Big Apple, New York City. Wow. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. The reason that they put this patent out there and the reason their patent is different from currently the folding designs that are currently out there is that they manufactured some sort of a component underneath the display where the hinge will exist that will act as a plate that will come up and apply pressure to the crease section to completely eliminate the crease factor. That's the idea. You know Apple doesn't want a crease.
No.
That's not Apple-like to have a crease. We have a certain crease right now as it stands on the devices that exist. I can't say it completely threw me off on a Galaxy Fold. I was living my life. And when the screen is on, you don't really see it. But it's sort of more that it was weird because when you would show it to people, it's the first thing they would say. Is there a crease? Can I see the crease? There's got to be a crease, right? And it would just kind of kill your experience a little bit. You're like, yeah, there's a crease. I don't know. Why are we talking about a crease? It's a screen that folds. It's a giant.
Yeah.
We're living in the future. Blade Runner. That's not Blade Runner, but we do have a Blade Runner backdrop at times.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, pass.
I know. So it kind of bugs you. You're like, that's not the whole conversation, but you understand it, man. That's people. People, they go in, they inspect. It's fine. So Apple apparently has some sort of a solution for this. Now, if you look a little deeper into the actual patent filing and scroll down a little bit, you'll see that this is for a larger device as well. That's definitely not a phone based on the form factor. At least not to me. It doesn't look like a phone. It looks more like a tablet. So if Apple does do this, I assume we'll probably see it in a tablet-like device, an iPad-like device, probably prior to seeing it ever make its way into a phone. And personally, I kind of think, Microsoft, not with a folding display, but they have their own foldable, the Duo and the Neo.
Yes.
I think when it comes to the immediate practicality of the folding device and the kind of, the way we treat our phones, the number of smashed screens that I see on phones need a certain degree of durability that these types of mechanisms are not great for. And we've seen that hashed out in the public with the devices that have emerged. Whereas with a tablet or a computing device, we just treat them differently. Laptops have had hinges for how long? We put them in a padded bag. We carry them carefully. Phones are Frisbees to people. I'm not saying they should be, but people are tossing phones in 2020. And so that's why it's a bit tougher to have the folding mechanisms and the fragile components in the device that goes in your pocket, goes in your purse, goes in your car, slams on the thing, goes on the table. So I think if Apple does it, like I said, I think they do the tablet first.